hourly segment is sponsored by Ed Connerkey at Cherry Creek Mortgage. Get the DVD everyone's talking about at bltdvd.com.
One station making history every day.
Chicago, Chicago.
Now, Jake Hartford.
89.
No.
What?
No. 4 no's.
How could you say no?
I just did 4 times.
Too bad you're crazy. Too bad you're loony as hell. So long, it could have been swell together. Too bad you're wacko. Wacko. How sad your marbles are gone. All gone. We could be dancing till dawn, but you're too weird for words. How did you get so strange? You were such a beautiful kid. Now you are so deranged. Was it Mom and Daddy? Something I did? Too bad you're loco. Too bad. You should be locked in a cell. How sad you're great, but hey, what the hell? You're crazy. You're off the deep end. Your life's a practical joke. Dommage. I'd bail you out, but I'm broke. Your brain's completely fried. Life's just a party trick to you. Clown jokes and lots of booty-doo. It's time to put that on the shelf. Nothing you is 3-ring circus. You do look fetching, too bad. It could be catching, egads. I'm a little bit crazy, Mark. Not true. Just a little bit crazy, Mark. Not you. I'm a little bit crazy myself.
6:08, 8 past 6, hour number 2 of Awake with Jake. All right. I know what you're saying. Boy, that last hour, very depressing. All right, I'm going to depress you even more. I was reading a story the other day, just a little blurb about helium. Do you ever think about helium? Nobody does. Except if you're having a birthday party, then you want to get one of those helium balloons. And the story mentioned that the price of helium is going up, and balloons are more expensive. And that was it. And I thought to myself, why is that? Now, most people would just go to the refrigerator, get a beer, watch the Sox. But I said no. I needed to know. I have this curious bent about me. And after I did some research, I was shaken. We're running out of helium.
You gotta be raping me.
No, I'm not. No. We are running out of helium. Now, back in the early 90s, I remember talking about the Federal Helium Reserve down in Texas. How they had all this helium left over from World War I, when they thought dirigibles were going to be the fighting ships of the future. And they have it down in caves down there. And they were spending this enormous amount of money to store the stuff, and nobody wanted helium. There was no use for helium, very little use. And so the government, in its wisdom, decided, well, we're going to get rid of the helium. They had the Helium Act of 96, I believe it was. And they start setting the prices for helium. They get rid of it. Well, helium has become a big item. It's used. You know where helium is used? Other than balloons? They use it for the LCD screens. They use it for MRIs. MRIs are all over the place. They weren't around they may have been around in the early 90s, but not like they are today. They use the helium at the Fermi National Accelerator out in Batavia, and also in the Large Hadron Collider. They use it there. It helps to pressurize and purge the fuel tanks there, and NASA's rockets, in addition to the other, the Fermi Lab and everything. So they use a lot of it. And apparently we're getting rid of it. And other countries who don't have the good helium like we do, Qatar is one of them, Russia's, I think, coming up with some, they're going to control the world market. And we are, like we are with oil, we are going to be dependent on other countries for our helium. Think about that. And the president's doing nothing. He's puttering around. He's waking up at his house this morning, going into his backyard to look at his beefsteak tomatoes, see how they're doing. And when he looks at those beefsteak tomatoes, does he wonder who planted them? Who planted those tomatoes for him? He's not thinking about helium. You know where most of the helium is? It's in the sun, inside the sun, yeah. But we're going to be dependent on countries like Algeria for our helium to get it out of there. And they don't have the good stuff. We've got the good stuff. We've got the pure stuff. And nobody seems to care. Nobody cares. We're going to have these nice MRI machines without, and we're not going to be able to use them. We have the accelerator at the Fermilab. We're not going to be able to use it. There are children who aren't even born yet who will not have the thrill of having a birthday with helium balloons. Think about that. A Nobel-winning scientist says we may run out of helium by 2025. That's a little over 10 years from now. We have a crisis, and no one's talking about it. Todd in Glendale Heights, good morning, sir. Welcome to 89 WLS.
This Jake?
Yes, it is.
Well, this is one of the benefits of Barack Obama and the Democrats' economy, because usually I'm at work right now, but because we're so slow, for the last couple of weeks I've got to listen to you and realize just how funny you are and intelligent. And also your callers are really intelligent. But you're talking about the helium shortage. Well, I worked on all the rigs to work my way through college. We were drilling for oil, but every now and then we'd hit a gas well. You wouldn't believe how much helium is in those gas wells.
Yeah.
The reason that this country has a shortage of helium is directly responsible for the politically correct dogma that has been shoved down our throats for the last 30 years. And now we have Obama and the Democrats are basically telling us that we have to buy foreign oil. Why, I don't know. I mean, I come from North Dakota. That's where I grew up. North Dakota is now a boom town.
3% unemployment, I believe.
Less than 3%.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, Obama's taking credit for that too. But the thing of it is, he can't do anything, and the Democrats can't do anything, because they're drilling on private property, not federal property.
Yeah, most of the drilling that's being done is on private lands, yeah.
Yes. I know, because, like I said, I grew up there. Also, North Dakota is probably the only state left in the Union that has the only state bank. I mean, the banking system, when it was first constructed, each state had its own bank, basically. And North Dakota is probably the only one left to have that. They're right now, the money that they're making off the oil revenue, they're putting together a fund to where the interest that they make off the fund, the state now passed a law, thanks to the Republicans there, the state can't spend more money than it takes in. That's the law now there. And it's going to take majority Democrats to overrule that, but I don't see that happening in the near future on what's going on in this country right now. Anyway, the problem with the helium is because of this politically correct.
People, yeah, the left, the far left, they don't like oil and they don't like gas. And
I know they like all these failed companies that nobody wants to buy.
And I understand, I understand solar, and I understand wind and all that, but we've got all this oil. We have all this helium. We should not run out of helium.
No, we shouldn't even be importing any energy. North Dakota creates so much energy, it exports 75% of the energy it produces to Canada, to Minnesota, to South Dakota, to Montana. I mean, the state there, the people there are really smart. They know how to run their life. They don't ask for anything from anybody else. And that's the way I grew up. You know, I work in a union, so I have to deal with liberals every day. And I told them, well, if you really want to know the difference between a liberal and a conservative Republican, a conservative Republican, his motto is God, country, family. Well, the Democrats' motto always seems to be me, myself, and I. And if you look at what the Democrats say, what they've been preaching for the last 30 years, that's exactly what they're saying. They don't care about anybody but themselves.
They seem to care about everybody, but they...
No, they don't.
Well...
Oh, please. I mean, I had some encouragement when I had this Republican congressman down in Springfield just yelling.
Oh, boss, yeah.
Did you see that?
He was on with Donna Roma the other day.
Well, I like that guy. And I think there's more Americans that need to speak up like he does.
Yeah, but you know what?
Is enough.
But he spoke up, but then Madigan said, okay, the Republicans, you're responsible for it, and nothing got done, and so now nothing's getting done.
Yeah, but you can thank Madigan for that once again.
Yeah, it was almost like a trap.
What he said was true. I mean, this state is run by Chicago thugs. Sorry, but that's the truth. If this state didn't have Chicago, this would be a very, very red state. I mean, what he said, I think most of people in this state are starting to feel the same way. I mean, the Democrats, they've been running this state into the ground. And if you look at any other state that's run by the Democrats, look, I used to live in California for 8 years. The reason I moved out of there was because I saw what was coming. And I'm sorry to say, as much as I like this state, I'm really starting to seriously think...
Thinking of going back to North Dakota?
Well, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Todd.
Thanks, Dick.
Yeah. Anyway, the helium. That's all we're going to talk about, helium. There's other stuff. Look what happened in Florida the other day. Those two homeless people. When the guy bit off the nose and the eyes, huh? It just goes to prove one man's face is another man's lunch. 6:19 back after this in 89 WOS.
This is Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
When did the concept of self-reliance become a bad thing?
You need to be careful. My concern is that none of the candidates really are able to articulate.
I listen to you.
Here's my point.
Religiously.
I'm concerned about my health care.
We've got to get spending under control in this country.
People need to start listening to the issue.
Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
Hi, Jeff here from Basement Flood Protector, Chicagoland's specialist for solving any unwanted basement water problem. We have decades of local expertise, the longest, most thorough warranties, an excellent reputation, and we insist on performing the correct repair, not simply the easiest repair. Your basement is important, and we don't take that lightly. So if you need seepage correction, crack repair, exterior drain work, sewer flood control, or monitored and internet-connected sump pump equipment, we have the answers. In fact, our iControl technology remotely monitors your basement, testing pump equipment, and is able to send email and text alarms and allow remote access using the internet and iPhone apps. You can be confident that your flood prevention from Basement Flood Protector is always ready. Our customers are worry-free. We are the only company that even offers this solution and at a price the other guys want for dormant solutions with no technology. Learn more at don'tflood.com.
Basement Flood Protector, it's our name and it's all we do. Call 1-800-238-0822.
It's all quite innocent at first. A few shopping outings with friends. But soon you're on to yoga classes, book clubbing, and texting, on top of the house cleaning, laundry, and grocery shopping you do. Then it's official. You're a victim of busy adulthood. But you're not alone. Olivet Nazarene University has helped hundreds of busy adults fit education into their busy lives with flexible programs in business, education, or nursing. Visit graduate.olivet.edu. That's graduate.olivet.edu. This summer, treat yourself to a relaxing 2-day Mississippi River cruise through the heartland of America. Enjoy the beautiful scenery from the decks of the elegant Victorian-styled Riverboat Twilight. Departing the Quad Cities and traveling to Dubuque, Iowa, this is a perfect trip for anniversaries, girlfriend getaways, and reunions. The affordable fare includes all meals, overnight accommodations, and shore tours. This round-trip cruise departs 3 times a week through October. Call 800-331-1467 or visit riverboattwilight.com. That's riverboattwilight.com.
Your surgery may be minor, but there is no such thing as minor anesthesia. By answering the confidential questions asked by your nurse anesthetist, you can help make your anesthetic experience a safer one. Be honest about your medical history, eating habits, and medications you are taking. Be sure you follow instructions from your nurse anesthetist before and after surgery. This can help make your surgery a major success. A public service announcement from the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists.
If we never see you at Northwestern Memorial Hospital for a critical procedure or acute care, we hope it means we've done our job out in the community, educating, promoting disease prevention and management, giving back, and serving those in need. We do our best to bring our exceptional care where it matters. Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Everything matters. Learn more at nmh.org.
When it rains, you immediately think about your sump pump. Do you frequently check to see if your sump pump is working? Do you worry about losing power during a storm? If you answered yes, you may be sump-phobic. Sump-phobia is the fear of sump pump failure. It's common in the Chicagoland area. Fortunately, there is a cure. The Boss battery-operated sump system from U.S. Waterproofing. Boss sump systems are heavy-duty and reliable, unlike many off-the-shelf alternatives. Put a Boss in your basement and put your mind at ease. U.S. Waterproofing can also help with basement seepage problems. You've got enough to worry about. Call U.S. Waterproofing today and be cured of sump-phobia. 1-888-SEEPAGE. That's 1-888-SEEPAGE. Or schedule a free consultation online at seepage.com.
U.S. Waterproofing, the foundation of a healthy home.
You don't have to gamble with your financial future. Listen to Securing Your Financial Future with Goldstone Financial Group this Sunday morning at 8 to learn how.
An ABC News update is just minutes away. 89 WLS and online at WLSAM.com.
624 Awake with Jake. We're going to get Joe Rosansky in the sports in just a minute. But first, Michael in a car on 89 WLS. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was listening to you on my commute to work this morning, and I know you were talking about helium. I was watching a documentary on nuclear fission where they were using helium instead of hydrogen, and they wanted to get a hold of a lot of it, and they're saying there are huge amounts of deposits in the moon. And I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that, and if you ever think we'll someday try to mine that, because that's what they wanted to do, because it could produce lots of energy for the entire world, to be honest.
Well, there's a lot of it in the sun also.
We've actually been to the moon, and we can mine it.
I don't think they will, because we've got a lot of it in the United States, and for some reason they just don't want to. They don't want to get it out of the United States ground.
Okay.
And the area down near where Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas come together, I forget what they call that area, but it's just it's like a sponge type with rock formation down there, which is perfect for storing the helium that we get out of the earth, and the government's not into it anymore. They're just they want us to be dependent on the foreign helium people, and the foreign stuff is not as good as what we have.
Right. They were talking in the documentary that's called helium-3 are the deposits in the moon. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing it means it's the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, we got good stuff here. We just got to get it out. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
There's a man who knows the value of helium. We got to get the helium issue on the front burner. 6:26, time for sports with Joe Rosansky.
White Sox, go, White Sox. Let's go.
Oh, that can only mean one thing.
We're with you all the way.
It means the Sox probably won last night. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Jake.
What's up, Chief?
It's getting fun to say. The White Sox won their 9th game in a row.
They sure did, boss.
And they had more than 9 people in the stands. 19,168.
Well, they've been doing around just over 20.
Right. But yesterday it was 57 degrees at game time. Hopefully, if the weather improves a little, they'll get more people.
Well, 3 o'clock game today.
Well, the weather will be more than 57 at 3 o'clock. They were winning. They were tied in the 7th inning when Paul Konerko hit a lazy fly ball to the center fielder, who had it go off his glove, bounce off his face, and drop. And that led to 3 runs, and they won 7-4.
Sounds like that center fielder is Cubs material.
He could be. He was not happy with himself after the game.
I don't think I wouldn't be, yeah.
The Cubs played late at night, speaking of the other Chicago baseball team.
San Francisco, 2-hour time difference.
That's right. They were up late. The Giants beat the Cubs 4-3. If you stayed up for everything but the 9th inning, you missed Alfonso Soriano hitting a 3-run homer. So they still lost, but at least it sounded exciting.
What in the hell are you doing?
But, that's what they need. Maybe the Cubs need Hawk. Did you hear his rant?
Yes, I did.
Did you think he deserves to be talked to by Jerry Reinsdorf and the president of baseball and said, don't do it anymore?
I think he deserves to retire. That's what he deserves.
I was waiting for him to tell the commissioner to say he wasn't going to keep people off his lawn anymore. But your other favorite team...
Should be a lot of retirements. Well, yes.
The Yankees won.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
They beat Detroit 9-4. They're only 1.5 games out of first place now.
See, that's good for the Yankees and also good for the Sox because Detroit is, They're
falling back.
Yeah.
The Sox are in first place by 1.5 games.
Yep.
So the Yankees are only behind Baltimore, who's not going to stay up there, and Tampa, that the Sox beat 3 times this week. So that's a good thing.
What other sports do you have, Joe?
And the other, I have to mention the other National League team because Johan Santana threw the first no-hitter ever for the New York Mets. It took them 8,020 games, and they finally have a no-hitter.
God, how many games has that guy pitched? 8,000 games?
Not him, but he was the first Met to throw a no-hitter.
Hard to believe they've had some good pitchers. Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan.
Yep, Seaver threw a one-hitter. Ryan was in relief for the most part when he was with the Mets, but nobody had ever thrown a no-hitter with them.
So that would make last night's the first.
Yes. They beat St. Louis 8-0. There was a blown umpire call, which we seem to have one in every game, and there was a sensational outfield catch. But it wasn't hitter. They won 8-0. Last week, to switch to basketball, last week it was Bob Boozer. This week, former Bull Orlando Woolrich is dead.
Did Bob Boozer die?
He died last week, yes indeed.
I didn't know that.
And Orlando Woolrich died at age 52. He was the last leading scorer on the Bulls before the Michael Jordan era.
Sorry to hear that.
In the NBA, Boston beat Miami by 10, so it's 2-1. Miami's leading. And tonight we'll see the team without LeBron James play the other team without LeBron James, and it's 2-1 in that series, too.
All right, now it's time to say goodbye.
Take care, Jake.
Take care, Joe. Bye-bye. Here he goes. Thank you. right. Got the two bandwagons going. Yankees will play the Sox in the playoffs. I predict. Maybe not. 6:31, back after this in 89 WLS.
This ball game